Not married to the meeting. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am alcoholic. Today, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I cannot be any more grateful. I'm actually grateful to be back in my little corner cubby cubicle thing here with all my lights. It's nice and comfort and cozy here. So I want to continue the conversation we started earlier this week about some of the problems and challenges that a newcomer may experience whenever they first come into the meeting rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm only talking about AA meetings because, well, that's all I've ever been to. I haven't been to any other type of meetings, other crosstalk. I haven't been to any other pathway meetings, any other fellowships. I want to talk about some of these problems that I've witnessed myself firsthand, again, using my own personal experience, in the hopes that it helps prepare that newcomer for in the event that they do see some of these problems, they know what's going on. Let me give you my disclaimer. I am absolutely a diehard AA patron, if you will. I practice the 12-step program of Alcoholics Anonymous. Again, there's a huge difference between the program and the fellowship or meetings anyway, and it's easy for us to get that confused. Matter of fact, just the other day I mentioned how we confuse the message with the meeting, or the program and the meeting. Two totally different things. So I'm talking about the problems within the fellowship, within the meeting, that you may witness and experience as a newcomer into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. There are going to be some of those people that you meet when you come into the rooms who believe that you're only practicing AA if you go to only just AA meetings. So in other words, if you don't go to AA meetings, you can't be practicing AA. My question to them that I pose is, what about church? How does that work for church, right? What if I go to church? Does that mean if I go to church, which is kind of a meeting, that doesn't mean I'm not practicing AA? I don't know. I digress. So basically, they have this idea that if you go to anything other than an AA meeting, well, you're just going to fail at your efforts of sobriety. I don't believe that. I don't agree with that. I don't believe that. These people are the ones that believe that AA is the only way for you to get sober. Let me be very clear. AA is the only way for me to get sober and to stay sober. I know I've tried everything else. That doesn't mean it's the only thing for you to get sober. These folks believe that AA is the only way for you to get sober, even drug addicts, except they don't want drug addicts talking about drugs in certain meetings because that would violate the singleness of purpose. But then there's other meetings that you can't talk about drugs even though it violates singleness of purpose, but we're still going to call ourselves an AA meeting. Circular logic much, right? These people are the same that believe that AA is the only way for you to get sober. The ones that believe that AA is the only way for you to get sober are the same exact ones that confuse the meetings with the message, just as I talked about the other day. They believe subconsciously that the meeting is the message, and it has to be delivered in a certain specific way. They're not worried about the content of the meeting. They're worried about the way it's delivered. It has to be delivered an actual certain way. Deep down, they're confusing the delivery of the message with the message itself. They believe that if you deviate from the way in which the message is delivered, well, then it's not the message. I disagree with that entirely. Again, I use church as a great example. In other words, they only want you to get the message as long as they control how you get that message. If you go to a meeting where they don't have 15 minutes of readings and handing out all the chips and all the announcements, and they don't talk or if they do talk for more than 3 to 5 minutes, or if they double dip or things like that, well, that's not an AA meeting. So you didn't get the message. I disagree with that entirely. I use the restaurant analogy. Let's say you're a frequent visitor to a McDonald's, and all of a sudden one day you say, you know what, I think I want to go over to Chick-fil-A. And you go over to Chick-fil-A, eat your food, and the next day you come back to McDonald's, and everybody in the restaurant's looking at you like, I'm surprised you didn't starve, and you look like you're going to die of malnutrition. And how about we're just happy you went and got something fucking to eat, right? Whatever happened to that? Hey, I'm grateful you're still alive. I'm grateful you're getting fed. I'm grateful you got food yesterday. See, that's not what they do, and some of the folks do in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. Instead of treating that person as if they're going to die of malnutrition. How about we just be thankful that they got fed? All this comes down to meeting format. Again, they confuse the meeting, the message with the delivery. And it's not the message if it's not delivered exactly the same way that they think it should be delivered. And truth be told, meeting formats have nothing at all to do with the message. I get my message from the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. I like to remind these folks of what it says on page 95 in the Big Book. Again, after all, we're trying to find that spiritual experience, right? And on page 95, Bill Wilson writes, if he thinks he can do the job in some other way or prefers some other spiritual approach, we encourage him to follow his own conscience. We have no monopoly on God. That's all I got for today, guys. Thank you for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober. I could not be any more grateful. We'll be talking again soon. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.